Now that I have my U-Butte Variac with its power meter and switches and safety devices and all the rest of it, I don't really need my poor man's Variac anymore, which is this thing. I made this a little while before I bought that, and the inadequacies of this was part of the reason for getting that. But I'll show you how it works, because I'm about to repurpose it for something else that I want to use in another video. Yeah, so I'll just set this up and show you how this works. This just plugs into the mains, and it has a power point, but in series with the power point are these two globe sockets, and they're in parallel. So anything that comes out here has to go through these globes. So if I put and of course they limit the current that can come out, so it's not a Variac so much as a current limiter. But if I plug this toaster in here, turn him on, the globes won't let enough power through for the toaster to turn on, to latch. So, but you can see it's limiting the current getting to the toaster. Now I'll do that again with a bigger globe. It's got both bayonet and Edison socket, but the larger globes tend to be Edison sockets. So if I use this one, this big globe, I should be able to get more current. And it'll have a lower resistance, so it'll let more current through to the toaster, and maybe enough to let the toaster turn on properly. Okay, power on. No, toaster still won't latch. Oh well, so much for that. Now, instead of being part of the current limiting arrangement, I'll put this globe back in its holder, and I'm going to use it as the load, because the toaster is just too heavy a load for this arrangement. So if I plug that into there, turn it on, so they're limiting the current so much that this is not even glowing dimly. So it wants a lot more power. If I had bigger globes, well, I had one of those, I could put that in there, and then I'd effectively have two of those in series, so they should both come on about half brightness. But I'm not sure if I've got any other globes. I'll have a look. Yes, I did have some other globes. Found these two. They're 150 watts. This one that was in here, I can't see any marking on, so I'll leave it out for the moment, and we'll disconnect the bayonet one and use this as the load, 150 watts. This one is the current limiting resistor. So the two bulbs are now effectively in series, so we should get half brightness out of the same half brightness out of both. So turning it on, and yeah, they're both on the same and half bright. So what's the purpose of all this? Well, yeah, just to show that thing. But what I'm going to do now, because I want to test something else, I'm going to use the Variac as input to a contraption that I'll show in the next video, and I want to also monitor the power coming out of that contraption. So I need dummy loads on the output of that thing, and I'll be able to use these light bulbs as the load. I wish I could find these old bar radiator elements. They're about 1 kilowatt, nice dummy load, but this one's broken and they're almost non-existent. I can't find them anywhere. Anyway, so yeah, instead of putting these in series with the incoming power in this power point, I'll put them on the output of the power point, so that they act as a dummy load plus whatever's plugged into the power point. And I want to put in another one of those multifunction meters that I've used on like the one on the Variac there, to measure the power that's consumed by the load, because I'm going to put something in between these two, and I want to know how much power is going in and how much power is coming out. Right, now I've rewired this thing so that it includes the multifunction panel meter, which is in series with, or rather between the input and the output, which is this lot. So now, instead of these two light bulbs being in series with the incoming power and the output socket, it's in parallel with it. So power goes in here, meter comes on, and the load on this thing is these two bulbs plus whatever's plugged into here. If I stick in that 25 watt globe, not far off, 26.6, or the 30 watt one, or this 150 watt one, $145, $146, or all of them 206 watts. So this thing is now a crude dummy load. Whatever I plug into here plus the globes is a load on this input, and I can measure it here. I can see the voltage coming into it and how much current this thing is drawing. If I stick something between this dummy load and the output of the Variac, I can see here what I'm putting into the thing and here what's coming out of the thing. And in the next video we will introduce the thing. Catch you later.